Hello everyone. Today we are going to discuss more about list of list. In the last session, we understood the list of list structure and we saw some of the examples where list of lists comes into play in the Power Query. So I am presenting one table in front of you. So if you see in this particular table, the column names is having a junk character at the end. And also if you see few of the columns are having errors. So there are two exercises which we need to do in this particular video. The first exercise is that I need to replace these error values. So these error values can repeat tomorrow in any other columns also. So right now it is in the sales wrap and the profit column, but tomorrow it can appear in any other columns also. So we need to find out a solution where dynamically the Power Query replaces these error values with a null value. Second thing, this particular table is having the column names with a special junk character, so that we need to rename the columns and remove this junk character. And also in future, if any new columns are coming or any existing columns are getting deleted, so Power Query should take care of this on its own. So let's get started. So I am jumping into the Power Query user interface. The shortcut for that is Alt F12. So my Power Query user interface is getting launched, and now I'm creating a blank query. The navigation is that new query, other sources, and blank query. So the input to bring this particular table into the Power Query is Excel dot current workbook. So if I write this, I get all the tables present in my present Excel workbook, and I'm doing a little navigation to bring that particular content of the table, which I'm going to explain you in the navigation chapter. So right now I'm just uh, doing a lookup operator telling the name of my table is F sales, and this will give me a record, and from this record I want to extract the content table. So don't worry about what I did right now. This I will be explaining you later in the navigation chapter. So now there are two things which we do. You can see uh, this particular column is having some error records. That's why it is showing me a red color icon here. So I need to replace the error values from the columns, but my solution should be dynamic so that if this error appears in any other column, it gets replaced by a null value automatically. So what I will do, first let me explain you if I will have to do this using the Power Query user interface, then how to achieve this particular thing. So suppose I want to replace the errors from the sales rep and the customer name column. So I will have to select the columns, and then I will have to click on transform, replace the values and replace the errors. Then it will ask me, okay, what value you want to replace the errors with. So I want to replace the errors with a null value, and the M code which this Power Query is writing is table dot replace error values, and it is asking, okay, which table you want to perform this operation. Source is my table, and then if you see, it is creating a list of list structure because there is a curly braces, and inside that another curly braces are appearing, and then we have to tell sales rep is my column, and in this column you replace the error values with a null. Similarly, in the customer column you replace the error values with a null. So I need to do some kind of M code where I will have to create a structure, this list of list structure, so I can plug in here, and accordingly my query will become dynamic. So for that, let me extract. So let me rename this as solution using Power Query user interface. Let me duplicate this one, and this is using M code. So here I'm deleting the replaced error step, and the next step will be to take out all the column names. So the function for that is table dot column names, and inside this it is asking me, okay, give me the table for which you want to extract all the column names. My table is source. So what I'm getting is now a list of all the column names of the source table. So I am renaming this step as column name all list. Now I need to create, if you see in the Power Query user interface function, what system has written the Power M code, it is giving the column name and then a null value, again the column name and the null value, and it is wrapped within the list of list structure. So here I need to create a similar structure so that I can plug my solution into that particular M code and it starts working. So now I will transform my this list. So for transforming your list, the function is list.transform, and it asks, okay, give me the list which you want to transform. My list is column name all list. And it is asking, okay, what transformation you want to do. For the timing, I just want my list as it is. So each underscore will give you each item of this list as it is. Now, what we need is to create a list of list structure. So if I wrap this particular item underscore represents each of the items in this particular list. So if I wrap this particular underscore into curly braces, what it will give me is a list of list. But my list have to have two items. Each list have to have two items, the column name and another value as null. So I can just add by putting a comma, a null value here. And now my list is giving me a list of list structure, and each item in that list is giving me two items, date, the column name, and the null value. Now, let me rename this particular step as replace error list of list. Now I will add another step to replace the error values. The function for doing that is table dot replace error values, and it is asking, okay, give me the table from which you want to replace the error values. My table name is source. Then it is asking, give me the error replacement as a list, and obviously we do have a list of list structure where I want to do the error replacement, which is replace error list of list. And now what table I am getting here, if you see in the row number 9, if you see in the source table, we were having an error. Now if you see the interim table, the errors got replaced with the null values. So I can rename this step as replaced errors. Now the next problem with our table is that our table is having curly braces. Our table is having a special chunk character in its column name. So we need to replace this chunk character and rename these columns. For that, what let me do it manually using Power Query user interface, and then accordingly I will modify my solution using M code and will plug that solution into the M code. So suppose if I will have to replace this particular chunk character from the column name, I can select this particular column name and replace that or delete that particular chunk character. So I have removed from the first three columns, and the Power Query has written this particular piece of M code, which is table.rename columns. It is asking, okay, on which table you want to rename your columns. My table name is replaced errors. And then if you see, it is creating a list of list structure where it is asking, give me the original column name and the revised column name, so on and so forth. So now I need to create a list of list structure where my list will have the original column name and the rename column name. So for that, what I will do, again, I will transform my list, this column name all list, I will transform it once again. So let's see how to do that. I will add another step, and I will tell list.transform So it is asking, okay, give me the list which you want to transform. My list name is column name all list. It is asking what transformation you want to do. Right now, you don't want to do any transformation. Give me my list as it is, which is each underscore. So I'm getting my list as it is. Now we have seen that I need a list of list structure, and to create a list of list structure, if I wrap this particular underscore within a curly braces, what I will get is a list of list. But here right now in my list of list, I'm getting a single item, which is my original column name. I need to have the renamed column name also in this particular list. So for that, what I can do within this curly braces, after underscore, I can put a comma, and again I can put underscore, which will give me a list of list, but having two items. But both the items are the original column names. From this particular, the next underscore, what I can do, I can just tell that text dot replace. So it is asking, okay, where is your text? My text is this underscore. So which text you want to replace? I want to replace this junk character, and you want to replace with what? I want to replace it with nothing. And now if you see, I think some error happened. Let me see. Okay, I forgot to close this bracket parenthesis. Now I'm getting my list of list structure where I'm having the original column names with the junk character and the revised column name without junk character. So I will rename this step as rename column list. And now I can create another step where I can use the function as table dot rename columns, and it is asking me, okay, give me the table which you want to rename. My table is replaced errors. Then it is asking, okay, give me your renames as list, but it is a list of list, and I do have a list of list which is rename column list. And there we go. If you see, my columns names got renamed properly and that chunk character gone. And this is my final table. And now I can just dump this table into the Excel file, into a new worksheet. And tomorrow, if you are in, if in the base table, if you are having another column, say cost, and this with special characters, and I do have these errors in all the rows, and if I refresh this particular table, my cost column got added and errors got replaced with a null value. Thanks for watching.